trying to peel this away. The patient emailed us back the following day just to say how amazing they found the treatment, and they're very pleased indeed. So you can see the skin that's quite aged, it's oxidized. In most of our areas, the skin would migrate out of the ear. In this particular patient, it hasn't. It's just remained on the surface of the canal wall. And with skin, it is a quite difficult thing to remove because it's lining the canal wall, which means we're having to, with the instrument, come in close contact with the canal wall itself. And when we're on the outer third, the cartilaginous portion, we can apply a bit of pressure. The cartilaginous portion is not as sensitive as the bony part of the ear canal, the inner 2/3. And of course, cartilage is somewhat semi-flexible in nature. The bony part of the ear canal, however, it's a different story. It's a very thin layer of skin, 0.1 millimeters in thickness, and it's just the outer layer of skin. Skin, you have typically three layers. You have the epidermis layer, the outermost layer of skin, then which is the protective layer of skin. It protects the inner layers of skin from infection. You then have the dermis, which is the middle layer, and that's where the hair follicles are found. And then the innermost layer is a fatty subcutaneous layer, and it just helps to provide a buffer. And that then rests, if it's on cartilage, you've got perichondrium tissue, which helps to provide blood supply and nutrients to the skin, and the cartilage, which then sits underneath that. On the bony part of the ear canal, you've just got that outer layer, that epidermis layer, and then the tissue underneath that's called periosteum, and that sits on the bony part of the ear canal. So the periosteum is the equivalent to perichondrium tissue, but periosteum sits on the bone, whereas perichondrium sits on the cartilage. You can see that keratin. I've tried to remove it. It's almost like a pothole in there, so that would definitely need to be further investigated. We don't know how deep and aggressive this buildup of keratin is. Again, I'm just trying to chisel it. It was becoming a bit uncomfortable for the patient as well, so we just stopped at that stage. And we wouldn't have noticed that if we didn't remove the skin. So although I removed that plug of skin and keratin almost immediately at the entrance, like we are going to be doing on the right ear too, if I had left that skin and not removed it, we would have probably missed that buildup of dead skin, and it may have got worse. So with the right ear, this patient's right ear was very hairy at the entrance, and on occasions it was smearing the tip of the endoscope, the lens. So you can see it's a bit blurry at times. So I managed to hook that out. Once more, I got this layer of skin just at the entrance, going to peel it away. And again, the skin's very dry, and the patient did advise that they do wash their ears out most days and to be re-instructed. It's something growing up I was never made aware of to avoid water in your ear. It's only once I became an audiologist that I was informed and learned through experience that water is not advisable to get in the ear, and it can lead to an infection, swimmer's ear. It's not to say that you can get 100 people, for example, and of those 100 people, only probably a small percentage will get swimmer's ear, but it'd be very hard to predict who those individuals are. And once you've had an ear infection of that sort, and again, this is just anecdotal through my own experience, an individual then becomes just more prone to developing future infections.